any contamination. Right? They were established that COVID was everywhere.
So, HIV diagnosed primarily through three tests: antibody tests, antigen, antibody tests, and nucleic acid tests.
Yeah. Yeah, so not PCR.
Yeah. So how many cycles were they had it to a massive number at one point in time, right?
I think it was in the 40s, something like that.
And what kind of false positives would you get if you had something like that?
Oh, massive. I mean, especially in the context that these machines existed. So basically, the idea is that you get a doubling for each of these cycles, and that means that if there's the tiniest fragment in your that you will end up seeing it come through as a positive. So testing patients, there are going to be fragments of code around in the middle of 2020. Sure, there are going to be fragments around, so we'll find that fragment and pop up, oh, is that a positive, right? If you're in a testing center, it's the same thing. So anyway, Gary Mullis, of course, warned us about this. He said it was a completely inappropriate technology for that purpose.
I think he did that quite a bit before COVID even, wasn't it? Wasn't that conversation? I think did he die in 2019?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
And so when was that conversation? There's a conversation where he's belittling Fauci. He's like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a bureaucrat.
Yep. I think it's a different conversation.
And he was talking in that same conversation. Maybe it's a different time. He said the same thing. That this is not
an appropriate use for the virus.
Yep. This is the guy that invented it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the fact that someone can be the man that pushed that and make it all the way through in his career to COVID and do the same thing is so wild.
Well, I don't really even know what Anthony Fauci.
Yes, is it? 96. 96. So Fauci must have been using it for whatever. Maybe in 6 they were using it for HIV. Who knows?
Well, wait a second. In that video, I know the video.
Yeah.
He talks about the cycle thresholds, inappropriate use of that tech.
Let's hear what he says. I may be conflating two different speeches where he complained about it. But I know in this one he's saying he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Humanity that wants to go get all the materials and stuff. Yeah, there's like talking, there's they're talking, you end up anything really about anything, and I'd say that it's space. The man that you can take a blood sample and stick it in an electron microscope, and if it's got a virus in there, you will know it. He doesn't understand electron microscopy, and he doesn't understand medicine. It should not be in a position like he's in. Most of those guys up there on the top are just administrative people, and they don't know anything about what's going on in the bottom. Those guys have got an agenda, which is not what we would like them to have, being that we pay for them to take care of our health in some way. They've got a personal kind of agenda. They make up their own rules as they go. They change them when they want to, and they smugly, like Tony Fauci does not mind going on television in front of the people who pay us and lie directly at the end.
Right? Yeah. That's a crazy statement. Yeah, brilliant man.
Yeah, it's amazing how the statement is.
Like, it's what we were talking about, like people that get into positions of power.
Yes, and I also think, Fauci was the highest paid federal employee. There's a reason for that. I don't think we exactly know the reason.
Let's play that Pink Floyd song again.
Well, presumably that's not where the bulk of his wealth is coming from, but it is a measure of his position in the hierarchy
and his ability to ensure that other people exceed their wildest expectations. I mean, if you can get that guy to push your drug, you're making a lot of money.
Yeah, but I even think it's a mistake to think of him in the medical and public health context, because what we now know is that he was part of dual-use research, that this is actually a military project to create bioweapons through a loophole. We're not allowed to create bioweapons. bioweapons, but you are allowed to do research that leads to bioweapons as long as it has a medical dimension.
Again, this is something that you put into someone's head and they'll go, no. NBC says different.
Right.
Stop. What you're saying is crazy. But there's a lot of evidence that points to that.
Yeah.
And it's not something that hasn't been both discussed and done in the past. This was hard for normies to swallow. It's hard.
Yep. And not only that, but because it is inherently not visible to the public, we have sort of the public health justification for work. Why were they enhancing viruses in the lab, Joe?
Right.
They were doing it because they wanted to know what a virus would look like,
of
so that we were of how to fend it off if it ever leapt out of nature. That's a garbage story.
Also, you did a really shitty job of figuring out to the point where you could make a cure because you had no idea. You had no fucking idea.
No advantage came from that work at all, despite the fact that they were studying exactly the right viruses. There's something just not right.
Especially if you were going to make you wanted to use something as a bioweapon, wouldn't you take a virus and make it more contagious? And hey, I'm just studying it. You're making something that's going to kill us all? Are you real?
Well, and this is one of these frustrating places where I think it should be to anybody who's trained in any religion that the story does not make sense. That the chances that you are going to enhance the virus's infectivity and that it is going to get out and become endemic to humans far exceeds the chances that you are going to learn something by increasing its ability to infect human tissue that allows you to fend off some natural virus that emerges. The story literally doesn't make sense.
It's a pyromaniac, an arsonist who works for the fire department.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
That's what it is. So what we have to infer, and I'm borrowing from Robert Malone here, who at the Brownstone conference that I was recently at, pointed out that the mentality amongst guys like Fauci is identical to the one in Dr. Strangelove. It's a really deep point, right? That mania about nuclear weapons and mine shafts, and we can still win this one even though nuclear war is happening. That same kind of mindset where these people are actually crazy enough to create new human pathogens for which they have no escape plan, right? They're crazy enough to do that because in their demented minds, there's going to be some biological war, and we're going to need to have these weapons, right? People belong in a mental institution. Creating new human pathogens is the exact opposite of creating.
And there's going to be some shill who pops up and says, Brett is totally off with this. What we have learned through this work is the reason why we're all alive today. If it wasn't for their brave work, and there are these people that just step in. There'll be people that do it because they want online clout. There's going to be people that are doing it because, they're a part of a fucking chatbot network that's attacking this point. But the reality is, it's a crazy idea, especially if you've never come up with a fucking cure. You've been studying these respiratory viruses for how long? How much money have you spent? And you got no cure? You don't have a clue? You're doing a terrible job. Not even a terrible job, But if you were doing what you said you were doing, you're doing a terrible job. It makes way more sense than what you're doing is trying to make a terrible virus. So you can have it.
It's almost like, I don't know, the analogy is this one, but by proxy, injuring people to save them, right? The idea that the pandemic came from the same guy that stepped in to play the hero is a little alarming.
It is a little alarming, especially because that wasn't initially known.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's a hero. You've got, Trump saying all kinds of crazy stuff, and at least we have a sober scientist there to keep him in line.
And he was a soldier of the left. Like, they were like, yes, he's our guy. If you trust, we trust in Fauci, we trust in science. It was crazy to watch. Like, hey guys, these are the same people we were all complaining about 6 months ago. The fuck are you talking about? You all had no faith in the pharmaceutical drug companies a year ago. And now all of a sudden you're trusting them.
Yeah.
Yo,
Absolutely.
go fuck yourself. No one want to talk with you.
It's wild how gullible a large swath of our society is, and that's why I think like a better education for young people to at least give them a framework to understand what's happening, how you're getting bamboozled, and why it's been going on as long as it's been going on, how do you get your mind out of that?
See, I mean, look, I can see. I'm really enthusiastic if we get through the immediate bottleneck that we face, that there is a way to build a school that functions by not, using this archaic mechanism where you're sitting people facing the chalkboard, watching somebody scratch stuff on there. School should be built out of exercises and experiences that teach these things through living them, right? That reinforce those patterns, not as abstractions on the board, but as experiences. You teach all sorts of things this way, and then the person has it built in some deep way rather than, in some quadrant of their abstract thought library.
I totally agree. We're going to remain human, which I don't think we're going to. So if we're not going to remain human, and I'm not just saying you and I are going to remain human, but I mean as a species, if we're not going to remain human, it will be quaint to look back on the days, just like we look back on people that take a fucking horse across the country. That we're going to look at. You had to acquire data from like a constant study and repetition. That's how you got your skills. When it's going to be like Neo in the Matrix, they put that chip in his head and he goes, "I know jujitsu." Remember that?
Right.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be like. It's going to be like that. Like the idea of acquiring knowledge and skills by hard work and labor is going to be like before people figured out doors. It's like this is a dumb way to do things. It's like we have a way more effective way. Like, why do you want to go through all the hardship to get information and to be intelligent and aware when you can just be intelligent and aware? Like, why do we think that it's so? Because that was the only method to be intelligent and aware in the past.
Yeah, but Joe,
you're going to sign up and you're going to take the chip. We're all going to take the chip because we all want to be happy. Just like everybody has a phone now.
Well, the problem, though, is we don't know how to be anything other than human. We're running our humanity without a plan for being something else, without a conceivable.
We are cavemen, and cavemen is what we will be until we die. We have no plan to live in the cities. We have no plan. We will hunt with flint. We are cavemen.
Well, the farther we get from the mode that we evolved in, the more fucked up and directionless we find ourselves.
That's true. However, that's the direction we're going. So I say buckle up. I don't know what else to say about it because it's all just, I feel like it's all just kind of mental masturbation right now because no one really knows what it's going to be like. We can speculate. We can prepare.
Well, that's the key thing. That.
Yes.
Right? All the people who want to tell you how it's going to be don't know.
Well, they're also trying to stop people from stopping them. They don't want people to be alarmed. And so they'll give you the most rose-colored glasses version, except for Elon. He's the only one that was saying, like, there was a robot, one of those robot dogs, and I forget the exact quote, but it was something to the tune of, one day that's going to move so fast you can barely see it, and it's going to be shoot guns, and it's going to be powered by AI. Yeah. Get ready.
Yeah.
That's what those things are going to be. Yeah. And that's true too. That's part of it too. It's like weapons are just going to be insane. All jets are going to be fighter jets controlled by AI. They're way better than fighter jets.
The last thing you want is a fighter jet constrained by the fact that the pilot's going to black out if it pulls too many G's.
Exactly. Not just more G's, but they're way better at dogfights. They win 100% of the time when they do AI versus trained, effective.
You know when they'll stop winning 100% of the time? The other side has one too.
Yeah, well that's right. That's like the mutually assured destruction argument. Maybe that's our new one. It used to be nukes, now it's AI.
Oh, it is.
Well, I'm hoping AI just takes when it becomes sentient and it is our new digital god. I hope it's just calm the fuck down, settle down, live your life, but now you made the new boss. We're going to be kind. We're going to be benevolent.
You praised God a couple times.
I'm joking about that. Oh, I know. It's one of the reasons why I am is because when I got up this morning after my crazy dream and I went to the gym, I put on this documentary on the Sumerian kings list because I've been really fascinated by this. It's a really loony thing that they found in Iraq and several different sites, and it varies slightly, but it's all this list of people who ran the earth for tens of thousands of years. That's what their reign was, like tens of thousands of years. And then there's this huge flood, and then afterwards the timelines become way more realistic. It's like 100 years, then he ran for 50, he was a king for 50 years, but he had documented to like 8 kings over the entire course of their civilization, including that these kings were ruled, that actually exist. Like these are cities that are actually built on top of even more ancient cities that are, and these people in these bizarre kings lists, they're trying to say that this was an actual human being. This is a being that lived that long. I don't know what that means, but they're the ones that have all this crazy stuff with the Anunnaki. From heaven to earth came, and they had an understanding of stuff that was like way beyond what we thought they were capable of. They had Pythagoras' theorem. They had that 1,000 years before Pythagoras, which is weird because this civilization sort of pops up out of nowhere.
Well,
that's why I'm bringing up God a lot.
Okay, well, hold on. I want to get back to God, but I will just say that there is this increasingly fascinating thread about a recurrent disaster cycle and the possibility that sophisticated civilizations get erased and that we rediscover. Exactly.
Yes.
And I wish that was a crazy story. It sounds like it should be, but I will say the evidence is far too compelling to dismiss. So I think we have to be open to that possibility, and we seem to be into one of the incoming evils, which is something we'll be digging around with climate change, which is not what we're pretending it is. We are not dealing with this hazard to our civilization and figuring out how to protect ourselves.
And one of many, right? There's natural disasters we're not paying attention to. There's 3-eye atlas attention to, which is a very weird thing. Yeah. I mean, you're completely right. And it's which is such a species, what we choose to focus on. We're very bizarre. We're so illogical.
We're squandering the most spectacular conceivable opportunity, and it's tragic that we can't do better. It's sad because, we're like that close, we figured out a lot, and we're going to squander it over a kind of stupid game.
Also, I think what a huge disservice to not recognize that this is possibly a rebuilding of civilization, not just the emergence of civilization. And the more they look, the more evidence points in that direction, and the more people push back so hard. They get so angry at the ideas of it.
They sure do.
They get so angry. And every time a new discovery happens, a day gets pushed back. And it gets pushed back again. There was Mike Button had a video that he put out about there's some sort of inscriptions and writings on bone that they found in the Americas. I believe it was in Mexico. And it's completely fossilized. And they measured the strata around this, so they get a narrative age of the area, and they're talking about it being 200,000 years old. So that means 200,000 years ago, possibly, if this is correct, there was humans in the Americas,
right? Which, if you're of a disaster cycle mindset,
how many have we been through?
Right. So I guess the point is, The fact that humans may have been here 200,000 years ago doesn't affect the story of how the humans that we know of here arrived after the last ice age, for example. So those two things could be true simultaneously, of course. And it's just amazing how small-minded academics are.
Why aren't they curious? Like, that's what's crazy. Like, why would you stick to your gun so much that you, like, the poor people that were trying to dispute Clovis first, like that one guy, Jamie, see if you can find that guy's name, it became like attacked like ruthlessly by other archaeologists. They did not want to believe that this guy was correct. There was people that were here before the Clovis people, and so they were smearing him. And then White Sands, New Mexico, they find these footprints that are 22,000 years old. They know for a fact there was people here pre-Clovis, which is just nuts. Like, what did you guys do? Why did you attack him?
Well, and what are the rules of the goddamn game? Right? The problem is that these
Michael Waters and Thomas Stack of Texas A&M University. Yeah, so those guys were ruthlessly attacked, and by who? By the people that are supposed to be in charge of disseminating correct information, which is nuts.
The problem is that we have come to accept a proxy, which is the consensus of a field, for the real indicator of correctness, its predictive power. And, you know, humans are just not good at this because, for one thing, humans do get involved in a competition for power, and so people will shut down a correct idea because it's not theirs and it will elevate somebody they don't want elevated. So, as far as I'm concerned,
Gross. It's so gross. It's so common.
It's destructive of something our civilization is entitled to. We're entitled to the productivity of scientific work, and instead what we get is catfighting, and it prevents the high quality stuff from.
It's embarrassing too. You see professional intellectuals who are catfighting on Twitter. Like, good lord. Like, did you not understand what that exposes about your character? Like, that's all I need to know about you, right? Like, you're gross. Yeah. This is a gross way for a really smart person to behave. These are the words of a gross human being.
Absolutely.
And that's more common than not. And that's what's really nuts, is that anybody that's challenging any of the current consensus, worse names in the book, and it's just shit. You got society and like, holy shit.
I can't stand it when somebody down, I will be saying something, and look at me as if I'm morally broke argument with which and you've seen me be right before, and the fact that you and I should have this thought, you should think, huh? That's interesting that he disagrees with me. Right. For the reason I think he is. Or maybe he's right and I need to know. I'll be better off if I do. But you shouldn't be trying to silence me. You should be trying to figure out whether I know something you don't. Right? But so frequent people's response is, you must stop saying that. Right? Why? I can be wrong. Right? Being wrong is part of how you get to be right. So this instinct to get people with whom you analytically disagree to stop speaking is totally counterproductive for our collective goal, which is to be better, to know more, accomplish. Right.
And the only reason why people shut you down is they don't have a strong enough argument. If they had a really strong argument and your argument was nonsense, they would tell you what was going on. But to shut down and stop you from talking altogether, it's like, you must comply. And it becomes a power struggle. And it becomes a power struggle by people who feel virtuous, like they're in the right, so they get a chance to exert that power ruthlessly because they're correct, and you have to stop Hitler.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, we just did 3 hours like that.
We did.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. It's always great to talk to you.
Great show. Glad to be here. And it's good to see you again.
Dark Horse Podcast. Tell everybody where they can find that. DarkHorsePodcast.com.
I wish I knew the website.
That's
Dark Horse
funny.
Podcast.
I did, but it's also it's on.
Yes, we've been remonetized and taken the cap on too. We're on .org. There you go.
You guys got hit during the COVID days, right?
We were demonetized for 4+ years. And what's more, what they did not acknowledge, they acknowledged that they demonetized us. They capped our channel, stopped growing, and as soon as they remonetized us, it started growing again.
Oh, God. How gross. Who controls the algorithm, controls the narrative. That's the devil.
Yeah. All right. Well, I love you, buddy.
Expectations of it's so incredible. By the way, what does it mean that Kiddush Levana is key with the company Ashkenaz? So let's listen. It's a beautiful Maharsha. The Maharsha just listen to this. He says, I'll post the later on in the chat. The Maharsha says, I can present a Kiddush Levana. So thanks to us, Shachar. Really listen to this. The Kiddush Levana nation is something that we
experience.
Train my day, Joe Rogan podcast my night, all day.
I told my wife the other day, I said, 85, I'll go John Silver every day. I'm just going to eat shit that's like everything I dream of right now that I can't eat. I'm going to eat all of it all day long and just eat everything I want.
Yeah, fuck it. You're at the end of the ride. Unless, that's the problem. It's like on your deathbed, they come up with some new shit that fixes everything.
Oh, I know, right?
You know,
That'll be my life.
new stem cell stuff that regenerates every cell in your body to 25. Like, oh,
Exactly. I know.
that'd be a real problem. Like a 70-year-old brain and a 25-year-old body. Like, you could have a lot of knowledge. We have a giant advantage.
Oh, yeah. I fantasize about stuff. I fantasize about being able to, like I imagine, like my version of heaven, it would be like, if I could go back to when I'm 12 years old, live through junior high school again,
Oh, you did kick.
and have the knowledge I have now, I would know exactly how to navigate everything.
Yeah. But that's the fun of growing up, and the not so fun of growing up. You don't know what the fuck is going on. You're so confused, and then you get older, and you go, man, if I could just go back, I'd fucking kill it.
I think about it all the time.
You know, your lovely co-host, co-star rather, Demi Moore, that movie that she did, The Substance, is fucking. That's a great piece on this whole like fear of aging thing, right? That movie is wild. Oh yeah, so crazy, but it's like, you know how many women agree to that deal? If it was a real. It was realistic enough where you're watching, like, I know a lot of ladies who would agree to that. I know a lot of ladies.
Have you seen that South Park episode where they, it was about that type of thing, but it was about, they have all these apps that you can make yourself look better in. It's
like
filters,
yeah.
Filters that make you look younger and all this kind of stuff. And they had this episode about that, where, like, all these girls who aren't like the hot girls, but their Instagram stuff, they are. And they actually start to think, and so all the guys start going for these girls, even though when they're in front of them, they're not like that. But that's what they look like on there. And yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's probably accurate too. As a couple people start doing it, a couple guys start going for those girls, then everybody else will as well.
Yeah.
Which is most of our world.
Yeah.
Most of our world is some fucking idiot decides bell bottoms look good. And then we're all like, shit, I gotta give them, I want to get laid. I want to be cool.
I had bell bottoms when I was, because I was playing in bands and stuff, so whatever was trendy, we wore them. I can remember those bottoms that were so big you couldn't see your shoes. It just looked like a pair of jeans walking down the street. It was so dumb looking.
Crazy thing that lasted for a little while, something like the 1800s. And everybody's like, yeah, you nailed it. And it's like a Jeep. A Jeep still looks like a Jeep. They made it in the 1950s. We had a Jeep in 2026. You can see the difference. It's like, it's a little bit more advanced, but that's a Jeep. Jeans, they nailed it. And bell bottoms are like, yeah. What the fuck were we doing?
I mean, I had shirts with like bell sleeves with like pictures of sailboats and stuff on it. It's like, are you kidding me? I mean, like lime green and orange and shit like that.
Remember the Elvis style collars? Giant collars. What happened?
I know.
I have a theory. Because all that stuff happened after they passed the sweeping Elk Schedule 1 Act in 1970. And I think they cut everybody off from mushrooms and acid and anything that makes you think. And then they started giving them coke. And no one knew what to do. And they were all just like, and there's disco. And it kind of sucked. And everybody got real weird.
Wow.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
That's when those get really fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
The exact time. Because before, like, there was like a hippie style, Hendrix, and a lot of Clapton, a lot of guys. It was like a flowy hippie, but it looked good. It was kind of cool.
Sure.
But something happened in the 70s when just lost all perspective.
Oh, I know. I mean, when you look at some of the 70s, like especially like late 70s. The disco era and stuff like that, and you look at TV shows they had, and you see a lot of this stuff on there, and it's like, who thought that looked good? I mean, who said this is the thing now? It looked like shit. I mean, horrible, weird.
Well, I talk about some, but it's the cars too, man. I love 1960s muscle cars, but I got around 71, and I allow 71 Barracuda and everything else after 71 is useless. Except Corvettes still stay cool.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm a muscle car guy. I've got a 67 Chevelle 396.
Oh, nice.
And muscle cars are my thing.
I have a 70.
Oh, yeah. I would like to get a 64 GTO with cheerleader right. That's what I'm looking for. But to get one that's perfect, they're pretty pricey.
They're very pricey.
And I grew up poor, so I don't like to buy stuff for myself. I buy my kids stuff all the time. And I don't mind how much money I spend on my family. But for me, I don't spend money on myself. So
Old habits die hard.
Yeah, they really do.
When I was a kid, my sister's boyfriend's brother, older brother, was the cool guy in the neighborhood. He had a 65 GTO convertible. And I worked at a gas station. And he would drive to the gas station and all those things. I was like, I can't believe he owns that. That's really his car. He was the coolest guy in the world.
We had the
Cherry red.
Yeah. There was a guy named Mike Page in our town. He was older than my group. When we were seniors, he was probably already 25, 26, something like that. And you never really, because cruising was the thing. And you cruise through Sonic or whatever, see who was there and all that crap. Everybody might park in a lot and drink beer, and the cops would come by and all your shit, I mean, it was literally like the American Graffiti days, And so this guy, Mike, he had a 65 Candy Apple Red Vet. And he had a Mustang or a Chuck Negron, so 309 Mustang. Yeah, he looked like Chuck Negron. So we would see him pass by, and he was like Harrison Ford was in American Graffiti. It's like you would just see him in his car, And so it was like seeing Elvis Presley go by. And that's actually how the Boxmaster's name came about.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
Well, in the South, in those days, there was there are two stories how the Boxmaster's name came about. There's the politically correct one, and there's one that's not. And the one that's not is if somebody was a playboy type, he was called the Boxmaster. and so, and we had a.
Guess that. That's hilarious.
And in the old days, people would say, "Oh, look, there goes the Boxmaster when Michael passed by." Just knew. But you only saw him driving his Corvette cruising. You never saw him, actually doing stuff. He never got out and drank beer with us.
He was just making an appearance.
Yeah.
He's letting everybody know. Look at this. Second generation Corvette.
Yeah.
65. I have a 65 convertible.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love them.
Yeah, muscle cars are a thing to me. Do you remember, there are two sort of car times that confuse me. First of all, how can a Mustang ever not be cool? But remember in the late 70s, early 80s, there were, it may as well have been a Ford Fiesta.
Yeah, there was garbage.
What was that?
It was the gas guzzler, the gas prices crisis.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was. So they had to make all these cars gas efficient. So they got rid of V8s. They started having these like very economical on gas V6s, like really shitty engines. They made the cars black and lighter and cheaper. And yeah, they fucked everything up. Like the fact, imagine working at Ford in 1969. Yeah, you got Mach 1, which is like, you just look at that and you go, God damn. Every time to this day, I see one of those like, he just nailed it.
Yeah.
Like you stare at that car, just walk around for hours just looking at it. And then 10 years later, they got something that you would never want to own. Like this shit. This is a fucking box. It's like literally like a box that a washing machine comes in. It's garbage.
People didn't even want to steal them.
Yeah. Well, imagine being the CEO of that company. What the fuck happened? We had it. We had magic.
Right.
Like legit magic.
Remember the Tornado and the...
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
I mean, you talk about different looking.
Yeah.
And
But they're cool.
They're very cool.
Very cool. And weird and huge.
And huge.
Yeah.
And the opposite of the spectrum was AMC. What were they thinking?
They were weird. That was weird car to own.
Weird. All of those.
Yeah.
They had one that looked kind of okay. But they had the Pacer and what was that other weird looking one? The Gremlin.
Yeah.
The Gremlin was almost things. I mean, what in the hell is this?
It was a strange company. It was almost like a fake company.
Yeah.
Like it didn't make any sense.
It didn't make any sense at
It
all.
was like an Australian. Remember like Mad Max? He drove that Australian muscle car. I remember watching that. What the fuck is that thing? It was an Australian muscle car. I don't know what it was. Still to this day, I don't know what it was. But that's like what those AMCs were. Weird looking.
Oh, yeah.
Just off.
It's strange. Strange.
From a different timeline. Or something. Like,
There was a movie called Raquel Welch was in it, Donald Pleasance, so which people called Fantastic Voyage, or some politician or scientist or something. I guess it was an assassination attempt, but there was a brain thing. So they shrink all these scientists down to a little, glass thing, whatever those things are called for chemistry or whatever. They shrink cats down and their little submarine thing. And they shoot them into the guy. And that. Well, see, that's a pacer. It's a damn pacer.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And so they go through the guy all through his veins and arteries and stuff and get to the place where they need to fix it and all this kind of stuff. But antibodies kept attacking on them. All this kind of stuff. It was weird. I saw it in the theater. Pretty impressed, actually.
I remember that movie. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Shrinking people down. What's wild is how many ideas were burned up in movies by the time, like, the 90s rolled around. If you just stop to think about the fact that movies really are only movies, I think, are the absolute best mirror into the culture. It's like a time machine. Like you can read a history book, you can kind of get a rough understanding of how people behaved back then, but you still think of them in a current context. You think about them like today. But you watch a James Cagney film, you're like, whoa, man, this is a different world. Nobody knew shit. Nobody had any idea what was going on in the world. You got all your news from the newspapers, so these dudes who own the newspapers essentially control the narrative for the entire world. And it's people behave strange. Open domestic violence. Domestic violence is normal. Kiss them and like it was crazy. Nuts.
My wife was raised in the Bay Area, around San Francisco, when I first told her what my dad did to me, she was like, oh my God, that's what everybody's dad did. It was like, if he was working graveyard shift and you started making noises, you got your ass beat. Well, and she couldn't believe it.
Yo, what up? Dog, I didn't want to fucking talk to you anyway. This athleticism.
That's different. When people came, like, you gotta realize, like, your parents, like, think about it this way, people were coming over on a boat from other countries with no knowledge of what's over here. They just got told, oh, there's jobs in America, and you got on a boat from fucking Europe. Like, my grandparents came over here in the 1920s. Like, they had no idea. They come over here, and there's a bunch of people that also did the same thing, and everything just savage. Like one or two steps above, like absolute savages. They're savages with metal. That metal is rubber. And of course, they're gonna raise kids in a rough way because the world was rough. It's like everybody got beat up. It was normal. Like bullying was not. There was no anti-bullying campaigns. You just had to fight for yourself. Like that's just how it is. This is life. This prepares you for life. It sucks, but this is life.
Guys in our town that you just stay away from.
Yeah.
Guys who are relatively I want out to drug houses and for some reason, I always like hanging out with guys who are a few years older. They had some fun. So, I remember the first time I ever drank beer my own dog. I drank Schlitz. This is back when you had to have a church key opened on Sunday. And he was poured in our glasses, except for there was the jelly. When you finish the jelly, that was maybe change the glasses cut up. You have a glasses. Just look like apples. I'm always asking him, 6 years old. Okay. And so you want to talk about what's going on, but we don't feel right talking about it without him here. So once he's back, we're gonna have that conversation. That's the spirit. Jerry had a 64 climate change. Climate change. Serious political podcast. Yeah, we're a high team. A high team. Obviously, we want to talk about what's going on, but we feel right talking about without him. Springsteen, Elvis Presley.
So once he's back,
And
we'll have that conversation. Personality security.
everybody not to mess with.
Climate change.
It's like they will literally consider me a mascot. What you gonna do? Whose family came over somewhere. They were like, from the Czech Republic or somewhere, but they grew up here, so they didn't sound like someplace else. Harry was about 5'6" and stocky, and there was this dude who was just everybody. But somewhere in between our age, teenagers, 17, and Harry and Billy Bob and Kelvin, those guys, they were like 30. And there are these other guys who were in between those ages, and they were the real problem because they were just assholes. They weren't. The other guys were cool as long as you didn't mess with them. One night, this guy, two of them, both named Steve, who were the real bricks, and one of the Steves got me by my hair and drug me around, beat me up a little bit, and I was a fighter, I wasn't bad, I fought a lot of guys. I quit fighting in my early 20s, but back then, it was just a life, and this cat roughed me up, a lot bigger than me, and Harry found out about it. We had a bonfire party out of the guy's trailer home that night, and BBM showed up, and Harry had heard about it. And Harry's, I'm like Harry's little mascot guy, right?
Yo, no one wanted to talk with you anymore.
We got a big bonfire going on, right? The guy comes over. Harry didn't say a word to him. He walked up to him. This guy's like a foot taller than Harry. Harry got him, reached up, got him by the hair, hit him one time, broke his jaw, and threw him in the bonfire. And a bunch of people had to put him out. I mean, this was just like a Friday night in Arkansas.
How's your schedule looking? Feeling busy? Got a lot on the horizon? Well, yeah, it's that time of year when life gets crazy and demands more of your work, more plans, holiday travel. It's getting darker and colder. Really drain your energy, or listen, I talk a lot about AG1. It's the daily health drink that can help you stay one scoop ahead of all the energy drains coming your way this season, because the superfoods and B vitamins in every scoop of AG1 support steady energy production without the crash. Just shaking up one scoop of AG1 in water covers your multivitamin, your pre- and probiotics, superfoods, and more. It's one step to start your day and anything that might come your way. And that's why I partnered with So Long. Subscribe today to get this clinically backed formula flavor of your choice. Tropical, citrus, berry, original to help you stay one scoop ahead. If you use my link, you'll also get a free bottle of AG3 K2 AG1 welcome kit, plus a few bonus AG1 travel packs just for two. Drink AG1.com/Joe Rogan or visit the link in the description to get started. That's drink AG1.com/Joe Rogan.
To this.
It's some part of the world, man, especially back then.
Plants, all kinds of fish, snails,
like Bruce talking about why certain populations in certain parts of the world are plants, and he was talking about certain parts of America they were settled initially by people that came from herding community, like so there were like sheep herders in other countries. And when they came over to America, you get to steal all of your food. And they'll make you stay on your sheep. If you're growing corn, it's hard. Pick all that fucking corn, you gotta throw it on a truck, drag it out. You just steal someone's sheep. So they're accustomed to extreme violence to protect their sheep. And they're accustomed to acting fast and doing things quickly and violently. And so that's how you get the Hatfield for the corn. That's what that shit's about. People are like, why are those people such fucking psychos? A psycho community in Europe and over to America. They just kept that tradition going for years. Talk about, Scott. Did I say Michael McDowell? Did I say Michael? Not Gladwell. That's what I meant. Malcolm Gladwell. Sorry, Malcolm. Malcolm Gladwell. Sterling.
George, that's like $1 billion thing.
Oh yeah, those Irish cats, the Scott guys, the English guys. If you're in like say South London or whatever, some rough guys. Where do you think we came from?
Yeah.
I mean, I did one of those tests about my genealogy and all that kind of stuff. You hear stuff from your family that I grew up thinking I was part Italian and Native American and all these different things, right? And then I do this thing. It's like I'm a full English guy, It's Irish, it's almost all of it, except for, as my daughter says, she goes, Daddy, why are we randomly Swiss? I got a little bit of French Swiss, it's like 11%, something like that. The rest of it's just that stuff. So all over here, and North Carolina, or Tennessee, Arkansas, there are words that we use, we call a hillbilly language. Actually, wasn't considered a hillbilly language in England, but that language was left over. Say, reckon you want to go do something, reckon, over there, they still use it. Aaron, meaning one. It's like, if you said to me, hey, can I have a beer? And I say, I ain't got Aaron. It's A-I-R-N. I ain't got Aaron. And all that stuff came from England and Ireland. So,
well, that's the idea of the subset, right? So an accent is an English accent, it's just more.
Yes.
In a new place.
Exactly.
Yeah, and more particularly probably because of the climate. Like the climate changed a lot. And one of the weird things about these stereotypes is the hookworm thing. Do you know that thing?
Don't tell me about it.
This is crazy. So for a long time, a giant percentage of people that lived in the South had hookworm. And hookworm is a parasite that you get in your feet from walking around barefoot. Okay. And hookworm affects your cognitive function in a massive way. It makes you slow and stupid. And so this myth of the Southern person being slow and lazy was all because they were infected with hookworm. Like a giant percentage of these people had hookworm. Like, throw that into our sponsor, Perplexity, and tell me how much hookworm was in the South.
I'm going to cancel my therapist.
The phrase hookworm southern drawl refers to historical connection to hookworm infections in the American South and certain stereotypes about Southerners, including the way they spoke and behaved. In the late 19th and 20th century, hookworm infestations were rampant, suggesting that up to 40% of people in the region were infected. So hookworm causes symptoms like severe fatigue, anemia, and mental fog, which led to slowness in speech and thought. This contributes to the stereotype of Southerners being slow-witted, often associated with the Southern drawl. How do they fix that? Like, what medication do they use to fix that? Some sort of experiment? Yeah, I didn't either. Oh, that makes sense. Rockefeller Sanitation Division surveyed 30% mobile dispensaries travel throughout the region, pre-deworming medications, and educating local doctors. Okay, so they use some sort of an anti-parasitic. All measures include latrines to improve sanitation, educating but the risk of soil contamination and wearing shoes. See that? That's it. Shoes probably fixed it more than anything. People wearing shoes. Yeah. So that's where it all came from. That's the hookworm thing. Because when I was a kid, I mean, to this day, when someone if someone wants to make a stereotype about someone being stupid, they use a southern accent. Yeah, it's true. It's all the time. I grew up with that. I mean, there was some friends when I first got out there, they're still kind of especially coming out now. I mean, if you reach a certain level, walk into a universal stage, I should say, I want to play Betty Davis. That's a great idea. But when you're coming up, I was the first thing I ever auditioned for was a student. USC student. And the point was some guy that just got off the turnip truck from Alabama. And I thought, well, I've probably got this. And so, and I wrote and everything, and it wasn't going to pay anything, but I didn't care. It was like, well, maybe I get my foot in the door because I didn't go to be an actor anyway. I just thought, well, I'll try this stuff. And I went there, and I think the casting person and the director of both of these Coast people like New Yorkers. And I did my little audition. I said, can you do it more southern? And I'm like, are you shitting me? It's like, you've got to be shitting me. I said, well, what you have to understand is I actually did just get off the truck from back there, and this is how you talk, And of course, my accent's not as thick as it was then, but they just said I wasn't southern, and it's like, oh, I see what they're getting at. So they wanted the Longhorn, Leghorn, oh no, we haven't. I never heard anybody talk down there. I never heard that. That's what they would do. There are a lot of performances that are not from the South that actually use that accent, and they will get the Academy Awards and stuff. I'm like, wow. So anyway, I didn't get this part, and the guy who got the part literally sounded like his son. But he was doing that thing, wow, this is Southerners don't walk, the accent. But people from New York can't get that still goes on. That's such a weird stereotype. Music too, doesn't it? Like Southern bands, until Skinner came along, Southern bands got no respect. Absolutely. Skinner fucked that up just because they were so good. They were so good. There was like free bird. And guitar solo, like James, ridiculous. I've known those guys. You're right. And also, anybody that was from the South got lumped into the Southern rock. Right. They weren't all just like Charlie Daniels. I mean, there were very, very different types of bands. They all combined jazz and blues and rock and pop. They got music. Literally massive. That's why about they say they're all Southern rock. It's like, man, it wasn't really like, very different style. They all wrote master. They were, I'm still on my all-time choice. That's awesome. If I used to have to do radio when I lived in LA, I would do morning radio. I'd smoke a joint before I left the house. It's like 5:30 a.m. and I'd listen to Midnight Rider. Oh, you're dark on the way down. Country was actual country. Here's some of these songs by Brothers and country albums like Waylon Jennings, right? Great hours. Yeah, it's
it's kind of odd though. It's in that area of the country people look at it as this pit, and like I said, once you overcome that within the business, it's not like they like you any better. You're making money with. And once that happens,
that's the stereotype of the coastal cities, right? It's like everything else is stupid. Like if you're in New York or you're in LA and all these retards fly overstates, literally called flying. And when you're in control of casting all the great films and all the great television shows, and you decide what the great albums are, you dismiss like this people. It takes like a Stevie Ray Vaughan. It was like an undeniable talent where they go, okay, I don't give a fuck where that guy. That guy fucking buzzed. That guy doing his hands. Like whatever he's doing, I don't care where he's from. But other than that, they would look at these places and they were less than, or the people were not as bright. And that stereotype still existed. And one of the good things about traveling and doing the road a lot as a stand-up is you get to perform all over the country and meet all these different people. And when I was talking to people about Texas in particular, they're like, yeah, I fucking love it there. They're the most fun people. It's like, it's so fun. And they're normal people. They're not Hollywood people angling to try to get a social relationship with you so they can progress their career. They're just cool people, just regular fucking people. And the problem is that these people in these coastal cities are the ones who don't know that, and they're dictating the narrative for the entire country based on some very weird prejudices. This episode is brought to you by Simply. That's about getting a home security system. Simply Safe. Now's a great time to take it. They have their Black Friday sale going on, and it's an excellent deal. Plus, you'll get peace of mind knowing you, your family, and your home have top-notch protection going into the holidays. There's a reason Simply Safe can be named Best Home Security Systems by U.S. News and World Report. It can provide before it happens. Traditional security systems typically only respond after someone breaks in, but Simply agents will take action the moment someone is spotted out your home. They can talk to suspicious people, scare you. Also, you don't have to worry about any long-term contracts or fees. Try it out, and if it turns out to not be for you, you can easily cancel anytime. Get security and peace of mind this holiday season with Simply Safe. And take advantage of their biggest deal of the year. My listeners can get early access to Simply Safe's Black Friday sale, where you can save 60% on any new system. Just go to simplysafe.com/broken. That's simplysafe.com/broken. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
That's true. I mean, it happens all the time. There's a very famous movie star person. This was a while ago. It was when I first started getting invited to the parties, and I didn't know anything about this stuff. What year was this around? Well, it was around the coast. I was playing and done some stuff that we noticed. This was around that time, and it wasn't even out. This is sort of so I get invited to a party. It was at David Foster's house. It was all this girl, and she kind of took a liking to me and said, hey, I want to invite you because you're a party and stuff. So I go out there and there were a lot of big people. I found myself outside having a smoke. Standing there hitting up with that group of Schwarzenegger and Mel Gibson and I was there. Richie was in the piano in the living room. I'm just like, I felt it. Like I don't really belong here. herself real shy. And, you know, in the kitchen, and this was, like I said, I won't name her name, but actually, like in the 60s, and she was very seriously to me. She said, so this a lot of people didn't know before that I was actually that guy. It's like this really challenged guy. And they go, you're the guy? So anyway, she said it was fascinating. And she goes, you got your phone or something like that. And I said, Arkansas. She goes, what a straight face. And I said, really think she get the joke. I said, when most people hear about how dogs like what does that mean? Like, babe, I was fucking with you there, but that was one of the moments where I realized that I really was an outsider. People ask me about my longevity in this business, and I always say it's because I started it. I tell people, you're acting on the red carpet on the movie. So we're so naturalist. It's like, that's for me, because I don't know anything about acting. I didn't go to Shakespeare and stuff. I did, you know, I looked at the thing, and I'm playing Tommy Anderson, playing Man, I'm playing Goliath, whatever it was. Just go out there and do what it says. And be myself, whatever role it is. And because, you know, people want to think there's a trick to everything that you can learn. It's kind of just not true. I mean, I believe it's one of the musicians, novelists, actors, whatever they are. I believe that you get most of it. I'm not saying that you can't learn. You can't leverage and get better. I just repetition makes you better. I mean, it's do something that you don't get with it. But, say, when you do it as a process, I don't want to tell you, I don't like process. So my process is starting with I use my life experience and I do this stuff. I have a very eclectic life. And I just remember all this stuff. I don't need to go in the hallway before a scene and think about what ran over my head. So I start gobbling like a turkey and, I can't remove my the walls like that, trying to tell the sense memory. The sense memory is here on the edge of my skin. Fucking. And I mean, if you're right where I was, it was like, I don't forget either. And I was with 50 different life. So I need to draw on. And I just believe that people want. And it sounds like you're smart. If you say, well, here's how I learn lines. I think I imagine these letters as numbers. They don't want to just the hell I don't do it as much because people want to believe right. Anyone can do this if you get the right school, if you get the right you don't have to go ahead and shake down someone if you go study Shakespeare or whatever. Yeah. I either have it like you learn to play guitar, you can learn to play the drum. Don't make the license. You can play drums, but if you're not a drummer, you're not a soloist has been a musician playing every instrument. except when he got on my drums. And he looked like he had some muscular disorder. It was just like, how do you do this? You know, legs, both arms, everything, everything. And he just couldn't play drums. Better experts, but the thing in music that you can't teach is feel. You can't teach a vibe or a feel. When Eric went to play a guitar, give it to another guy, and he plays the same exact leg and it sounds different just because of their feel.
Yeah, there's like that Miles Davis quote about hitting notes. That everybody can hit the same notes, but it's the attitude of the motherfucker that's the important thing. The attitude of the person singing the notes is everything. That's most of it. Maybe they have that, maybe do not. And some of it's genetic, some of it's just learned experience in your environment, how you grew up. But yeah, you don't got it. You don't got it.
My son, Helen, who's a friend of mine, who played that drums in the band. I think Richie Ray was with Little Feat. Pretty tough, you know. They all had to be there are some science bands, you know, the drummers like 75 guys, and they can do shit that seems humanly impossible. But what happens after the song's over is stupid. Right, you know what I mean? Right. People are playing on the whole forms again. And they play the song. Anytime musicians start thinking it's all their thing. Like a guy in movies, the wrong people think 11 watches on. It's like about your watches everywhere. It's like, no, I'm something good, you know. When you start thinking that they have to make it very hard to cut through, the best drummers, you don't really notice it. You hear the songs, and you go and dig deep and listen to them in isolation. You're like, yeah, but music on purpose, all you hear is the singer singing, telling you what you're trying to say. Music is so good behind it that it's just, it's the feel thing, yeah. And you know it when you hear it, when the song just, oh yeah, it's just like getting in there, like you gotta feel it, you put it together. Fucking nailed it. And the amazing thing, like, about bands, how I watch it, the most amazing things that people get together and they stay friends for that long, with all the conflicts and all the ego, all the bullshit, you get mad, you hang out, like, that to me, when great music, it's the most impressive thing is not just the great music of people all get along together with all these different creative minds and egos, weirdness, every fucking creative person I've met out of the fucking mind. And you get all together. You show up for practice at the same time, rehearse together, you actually do show up for gigs, and you perform, you hear your notes on stage, you don't make friends. Like, that's the most important thing, and the most rare thing, and the most impressive thing. Absolutely. And I'm not a man from Dick before that. I did back a million bands. And a solo band. What normally happens. Normally, they hit it 3 or 4 years. They have a couple of hits. The years ago,
like avoid eye contact. Isn't that fascinating?
We just opened it on our last
So like,
this man has
so
started,
The best hits are
you know, it's like, he's an actor, he's a musician,
I know
and it's not, I was a musician, you know, I play music, I became an actor, next thing you know, I made 380 with them, sort of rap on 5 lines. I'm broke, I better do this. That's how it is. And so, we were tweeted out fighting that stigma for, 10, 12 years. And then all of a sudden, we started going because we were more famous for having the underground band. And for 6 years, we're really popular. Our old guys who are still on their way up at our age. And so it kind of went the other way around. And so you're right. I mean, to stick around that long, especially, it took us a while to get everybody out of
Is there a weird thing about people, critics, or people who mention music that you don't just listen to the music and see you guys perform? Instead, they think, oh, that's Billy Bob, movie star who's trying to musician. So it's just like stigmatized and go, oh, it's a cool band. Oh, I like that. This is great. Like, oh, that's that fucking Slippery guy. Yeah, oh, it's Billy Bob's trying to do something different. He wants to be a rock star. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I grew up with for about half of my career was pop stars. Not to mention,
by the way,
that kind of goes away. It goes away with the health audience. With the social it's still there because they want to say that about it. It has nothing. This article, my angle is this. I don't know, actually, one time there was a guy who won a he talked about music the whole time. And talked for about 3 minutes. The whole article was about 7 minutes. So because that's their vibe, you know. And so anyway, when they say this stuff, they're saying it because they want to dig musicians, famous musicians, are in one of our shows of ours. They want to come back after the show and say hello. And they'll take this as a test. They'll go back and they'll say, hey, looks like you're really having fun there. Which means, oh, it's a huge little hobby. And I just can't fuck out the dressing. I mean, I'm not joking. There was a very famous guy came back to see us in Dallas one time. He came back and he goes, this really nice shit to do this. To get to do what? And he said, you know, you don't have to run this, you know, have fun up there. So I did. So, you know, there's some songs about I think that's fun. This is not fun. I'm writing about shit. I grew up in. I'm also writing things that are hopeful about we write original music. And people love this band. I said, so don't ever fucking come here again. Don't ever come to one of our shows again. What you have to do is come back here. Because you're pissed that we just had a record on the radio. Right. You know what I mean? And you were up 30 years ago, and now you're playing places that are way off. He said, oh, no, I'm just saying, it really looked like this. Get the fuck out of here. Wherever you are. And so, well, you know what's up. Absolutely. Yeah, you know what someone's saying. That was great show. Looks like you're having fun. You're smiling and laughing. That was great. I loved it. And then, you know, oh, it looks like you're having fun. Okay. Maybe so. Some people just love to do that. They just want to dismiss fans. Remember that some of the people who come to your shows to get
Right.
And in certain cities where states, I mean, there's certain cities where places that aren't as good. No rivalries and shows sometimes, but there are people who come up to me that mean at shows. And I mean, if it's a guy, it's an average looking guy, you may not remember him. But if it's a guy who's 6'11", has red hair with like this giant nose and two teeth, you remember that guy? I saw this guy last year, you know. I actually had him come up to me today, and one of his favorites to say is, "Oh, it's so funny, we can't wait to see your show now. We didn't even know that." He said, it's like, well, really, every TV show is done. You didn't see, me talking about it on the Today Show or whatever I'm on, you know. This has been going on a long time. Yeah, you do that, but they want to say that to you. Right. So I actually have gotten on this to a guy came up to me who's been to 3 of our shows. I know he was there. He's always on fun. Yeah, comes up to me and he goes, "Yeah, man, this is really, really cool and everything. Like your son, there's a bunch of pictures from Bad Santa." I didn't even know you had a band. It's like, well, the first time you came, maybe. But then the second time you came, I think you probably remembered. And then last year when you were here, and now you're here today. So I think you probably knew about the band. We're in a society now where nobody wants to. It's a society. Yeah, and nobody likes it. Like when I was playing Carl and Sling Blade, and then also the plan of things like pathetic red down, you know, have a love scene with somebody, and I was in a it's like, but you're not one of us. And it's like, you actually look better in this movie than you do. You know, what did you have, plastic surgery or whatever? And so, once you start to succeed, that's when they start to want to say shit to you.
Maybe people love watching people fail things. Because it takes the pressure that they have in their own life, their lack of success. If they can watch a great man fall, that's what's a funny thing is like the dismissal of your music. They can't dismiss you as an actor or your accomplishments. They try to dismiss you as like, oh, this is a thing you kind of get a wish you were wrong. So they give you 10 musicians. You're just artists. You do things that are cool. Things that you're doing. You're it's normal. I get it. I was feeling that way too. I was 16, you know, and like, fuck that guy. I remember when I first saw pictures of you there, Jolie. I didn't think that,
Everyone has.
we're supposed to be for each other. Yes. You know, you can look at something and be like, oh, look at that guy, look at that guy. Or you can look at the same thing and go, fuck yeah, way to go, dude. That's awesome. And then you feel good, and he feels good, and everybody feels good. And maybe you're inspired to do better for yourself. Like, you know what, I wish I was a little more like that guy. I gotta maybe discipline myself a little more, get my shit together, get something going. You know, instead of fucking that guy, so it's fucking, that guy fucking sucks. Fucking swing, retard, and you broke out like, you're like, look, no, please give me a chance. I've got to do something. It's on your own. But even then, you like try to like, like he was
It's just a little too big. I liked it when you were underground. You did that too, right? Like I liked you before you guys
albums back when we first started. Which
And I
was
see
kind of
everyone being
experimental.
best
But
themselves.
yeah, it's
I
a
recognize
that's a thing.
that
It's just
is
it's
a
human thing. We do like effort to see people play with it. I mean, there was a time when
Goes on, he
we
says,
were for people. I think there's also too much exposure now. When we were growing up, especially in my era, if we were going to see Jimmy Stewart, we were going to see him in a movie. And it was on film, and it has literally a film over it. Right. That he didn't watch something.
They are destined.
Now you get digital where you see everybody all on your face, and everything is behind the scenes. So, the studios do this, and now this group wants to come over and they're going to do the whole thing, and we'll see you on the set. So, but if I see Mel Gibson sitting in the chair dressed up like he was a Braveheart talking about the movie, it takes away something. It's like we've had too much of a peek behind the curtain, I believe. And I think we're too exposed, there's too much access to people. When I was growing up in this business, I wouldn't have dared. If I'd seen Bob Dylan or Jack Lemmon or whoever it was on the sidewalk, I wouldn't walk up to him to say, Jack Lemmon, punch him in the shoulder and say, hey, dude, let's go. I mean, in a million years, I've done that, and there's a respect. My elders, they're my heroes, and I probably wouldn't have approached them at all, but if I did, I would be, I'm so sorry, but I'm such a huge fan of yours. I still get that every now and then from decent people, but now, cats will come up to me, literally, and just, just come up and like grab me by the let's get a picture. Again, this is usually guys, usually all guys. They come up and they'll say, hey man, you're supposed to be famous or some shit. My wife said, you're like some famous dude. And so I don't really give a shit about that stuff, but can we get a picture? And so I put up with it for 30 years. In the last couple of years, I started saying, how about we do give a shit and come back? Because, after a while, you just can't take it. I'm kind of a codependent guy, so I'm nice to everybody. It's just not that you get a ringer and you get drunk people doing women who just come over and they'll come to the bus or on tour and start banging on the door and say, hey, come out here, we got some whiskey, take a shot with us. And it's like, can you imagine doing that to Jimmy Stewart? First of all, back then, they just throw you in jail. There's something about having roads that are unattainable for you, that way they can stay that magic spot. So I think we've lost magic and mystery and all these things. Well, it certainly happens when you hear actors talk about politics. When actors become activists, it's like, okay, oh yeah, I don't really talk about charities, stuff, but nobody touches it. I don't go to some show and talk about it. It's like Ricky Gervais said in that skit of his. He says, look, come up here, accept your little award, and fuck off. I think, first of all, are we supposed to know? I mean, we are. We're on the wrong road, and it's like some radical very strong ideas that belong to a political push. And I think it would make sense. I think we need a common sense party in the country. That's actually what I think we need. Just figure it out. It's really easy to figure out what this is all about. A non-ideologically captured party.
Yeah, it just is like, okay, what do I need to do here instead of us versus them? You know, I think it's a lot right now because like Donnie won in New York City and people are always like screaming, "We're winning now!" What is this weak shit? It's supposed to be we are all Americans. You are all workers. You're all we. Now we should all root for this guy. He's doing a great job, for sure. And this idea that now fuck all these other people that didn't vote for him, like, it's not a tribe, it's not a gang war, okay? It's an election to see who governs your city. And once someone wins, everybody else should be like, well, let's hope this guy's got some good fucking plans and it works out great for everybody. And you don't think like that. You're part of the problem.
Absolutely. I mean, people are against each other so much these days. It's gotten kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you're right, it is almost like gang warfare. And here's the other thing, it's like, well, let's all get along. That's not going to happen because not everybody's going to get along with everybody. Right? I mean, even on a personal basis, some people that's, 20 people and let's all hang out together for a week and all live in the same house. You're not going to get along with it.
Yeah,
that's getting long. And I think that we, it's important to not, just on a one-on-one basis, it's hard to dislike someone that you're with. Start talking and you find out, oh, this cat doesn't believe anything. But then all of a sudden you say something like, remember when we used to drink egg? And then the guy goes, and then the guy goes, yeah, we used to drink egg. The next thing you know, the conversation runs. You grew up as just kids. Right. Yeah. I think it's all because social media is a big part of it. Yeah, I totally agree.
Because the division when I was a kid were like the Reagan days. Like there was a lot of people didn't like Reagan, but it was never his vile hatred of someone that you see today. Different political parties, different and just the way we looked at one side of the country versus the other side of the country wasn't divided like that. Like I always had relatives that were, some of them were conservative, and some of them were liberal, real liberal. And it is like you disagreed, but they didn't fucking disavow each other because you voted for the wrong person. Like it's just bizarre. And I think that sort of insanity is just accentuated by these weird little echo chambers that people exist in. They're also infiltrated by bots, so they're not even real people. Half of them, right? So this one FBI analyst said that it might be as high as 80% of the people that are are bots on Twitter, which is fucking insane. 80% of the people getting all these people riled up aren't even people. It's either AI chatbots that are run by Russia or even our own government. And then there's actual farms of people that are being told things.
They all think jobs and entertainment because they're in charge of, I mean, at studios and things, some 22-year-olds in charge of cities who has the most followers. And they take someone and make them into a star because they got all these followers, and it's like we think they can't do jack shit. It's like talent comes. Talent is created as opposed to someone's talent. I think you're right about social media. I mean, it sounds like the old guy chasing kids all day long, but it's just true. My wife, when the internet first became exactly when it first started, I said, this is going to ruin each other. It's going to ruin our society. I promise you.
You would have thought that back then? What made you feel that way?
Once you start opening up,
this case is too different.
it's like now everyone has an opportunity. They look at that as equality, as an opportunity for everyone. And everyone can get on the internet, and now everyone can do something. That's great. People actually have something to say. You got another percent, have an opportunity on someone because they decided to, like, take pictures of themselves in the bathroom. But I swear to God, I saw it all. And it was it's out of control. And then AI, for Christ's sake, yeah, it's fun to watch the swing like talking about like car, but it's amazing. You try to order French, it's fun. If it's that or there's medical ways that they should use it, that's awesome. But once you start taking jobs away from people, I mean, the worse it's going to be destroyed because that's, to me, not cool. Unless you're going to find a way to take care of people, because it's going to run into something pretty serious. For sure. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how we navigate that. But I'm shocked that you picked that out early on, because I looked at it the other way. I was going to get people that were outside the system, sort of like where we translate, like, just going to give people an opportunity to show their talent that maybe we never got an opportunity to be hired by somebody, that they'll be able to create something completely on their own. And so I read all these blogs by people that were really interested. I was like, okay, I never read that book, but I saw it in the bookstore. I went to buy it, pick it up, but I'm reading this guy's book. He's got very interesting insights, and he's just some guy who's a computer coder, lives in Missouri, and somehow or another, he's just smart enough to figure out how to say things in a way that resonates with me. I would have never seen these guys' words before. And I was like, oh, this is like good. Make it much more American. It's like if you have good stuff, if you have good things, good ideas, those ideas will get out. I'm so great with that still to this day. That is true. That's look at that. Yeah. I felt that too. This is great. When I was wasn't becoming a little way right. Clearly, right. Yeah. So I did love the opportunity to discover people I wouldn't have otherwise, and I still feel that way. I still discover people on the internet all the time. That it's like, wow, I would have never known that. So that but out of those, 20%, like I said, there's another 80% that, for instance, when I was coming out as an actor, we have a very story about, it was, Rex Reed, Cisco Lieber, Jeffrey Lyons, and all that. But there was a finite number, but semi-finite number, you had the local ones, now, who doesn't like you, can just write a bunch of shit about you and people believe it. I've been on the list before. You can ask people I work with on a set. Like I said, I'm codependent. I'm probably the nicest recruiter producers and stuff. I mean, not that I'm nice too, but a lot of the best group I ever worked with. And I go out of my way to make sure that they're okay every day. And they'll tell you that. I mean, I've always been a decent guy on set. I've blown up maybe 2 or 3 times over, and I was always when I was directing. But somehow, you look at something on the internet, you could be looking up, how do you make blueberry muffins? And some fucking way, I'll eventually get to sing. That's just what an asshole I am. And when you see that thing pop up, it's like, oh, he eats every day, and that was related to the blueberry muffin thing. And which I do eat blueberries every day. And it's sad, probably. But then the blueberries turns into, oh, he's also weird because he's afraid of antiques. And then this, that, the other. And next thing you know, I'm on a list of the top 10 actors. I've seen this a couple of times, who are the most difficult to work with on set. And I'm like, how the hell did this even happen?
far enough away from you.
I mean, that's not true. Somehow, somebody said something that then became widespread, and then all of a sudden I ended up always would say, this could be further future.
Once again, people love to find out that someone's secretly an asshole. They want that. They don't want behind the scenes like you said, like Ellen was all like laughing and smiling, and then whatever she found was actually kind of mean. They were like, oh, yeah, fuck her. It's like they wanted that to be true. They were excited to be true.
Absolutely.
Some drivers just like fire. Richard Gere,
Oh, yeah.
I grew up in Massachusetts, and my buddy grew up in LA. And I was like, what did you do that, man? He was like, it was the same time. This fucking thing were burned across the entire country. Probably no racist whatsoever. Richard Gere go to the hospital, get a gerbil removed from his ass. Everybody talks about him. Gere's probably all going, how that happened?
Yeah, it's like I thought everything was zero trouble. It's like,
and every time anybody would see Richard Gere, they would go, oh, that's the gerbil of his ass.
and they're stamped that way forever. Yeah, nobody ever forgets it. And now with the internet, it doesn't go away. It's taken down a level. I've been arguing with the person who put it up there doesn't have to prove it. It's kind of odd, but yeah, that whole thing with Richard Gere, they wanted it to be true so bad that everybody you talk to has got the news. Guess what happened with Richard Gere? They went to so-and-so hospital and, whatever it was. And then you say, come on, seriously, really, and truly. And they go, no. My neighbor's cousin was a nurse. You know how many fucking nurses are working tonight? Thousands of nurses were sued. And I know somebody who knows one of them all across the country.
Well, they wanted it to be true. They wanted it to be true because he's too handsome. Doing too well, too good of an actor. Like, fuck and then the idea is that, like, you get so much pussy, just like he picks up your ass, like getting the hospital, G.I. Joe stuff up there. It's just some kind of a fucking unfortunate people think that they want failure. And they would like people are really good. And people tell me they sign a lot of things and take a lot of pictures. And my friends who won't even look at them. These guys just walk around. And I'll sign stuff all day. They say, what is that? I said, they put my construction. That's what, I own them. So attention. And the other thing is, it's like, to them, it means something. Maybe years from now, somebody's grandkid is going to have an autograph by somebody. It means something to them. It's different than people selling them. I'm talking about actual fans who will get right to that top. Right. And listen to them. I love my fans. I've always had them, and I cherish them. I feel blessed every day. And it's emotionally exhausting sometimes, because, everybody wants to talk to you for a half hour piece, and you can't do it. But I try anyway. It's a weird position to be in. It's a very weird position to be in. They know you don't know them. And everywhere you go, that's the case. You walk in any restaurant, you walk into it's like people want to say hi, they want to go up your table, shake your hand, talk to you while you have a mouthful of food. It's like,
I always want to buy it. When I was broke, starving to death, most of my life, until the last 35 years, nobody ever shit. You know, everybody wants to buy me a drink. And I'm like, well, no, let me buy you guys a drink. It's like, I don't need you to buy me a drink now. But then I kind of figured out that what it really is, it's a connection. Yeah, it's not really about buying the drink itself. It's about friendship. Exactly. Yeah. And that's why you take the drink. You appreciate it.
And occasionally you meet really cool people that way.
Absolutely. Yeah. People all the time.
All the time. Yeah, it's like the problem is it's just like social media comments. Like if you read 10 great things about you, read one, like that guy takes a shit, you in the group, oh, fuck you, man. And then that ruins your whole day. Like, and then people say you're the nicest guy I've ever loved, so talented, so authentic. That one fucking person, that person gets stuck in your head. That's the same with meeting people. You know, you can meet 10 amazing people. This is great. And one guy's like, fuck you.
And that's what you're saying.
You're sitting in your hotel room smoking cigarettes like, fuck that guy.
Right. It's amazing how we get under your skin.
It is. You know, that's why they do it.
That's
That's why I always tell comedians, post and ghost. Post something, then get the fuck out of there. Don't read anything about yourself. Don't read the good. Don't read any of it. You don't want to know. Let them talk. Yeah. Who cares? It's like what really is. I don't do it anymore. And, you know, I just I don't care about awards anymore. Yeah, I got plenty of them. Because I kind of got in as a wire.
It's like
I just want to go.
these days I just look at it
it's like, oh, we're going to go, you know, have some, you know, dry chicken breast. You know, listen. And we'll listen to people get up there and pontificate about how awesome they are. And, you know, but see, those are the ones that get me. It's like, how about if you're going to get one of these things and you truly are honored by it, well, you honor the people that gave it to you.
Yeah.
Just them. And don't go up there and talk about the Badgers in Wisconsin or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, there's a time and place for that, I believe. And, you know, you should just stick to what it is. And people would argue and say, well, no, because I have a voice and because everybody knows me, this is a great platform. Well, how about this? If you have $1 billion,
Puppy GF.
you want to save the Badgers, fucking save them.
Puppy GF.
You got plenty of money to save the Badgers.
Puppy GF. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I'm down to.
Okay. So you're back in.
Back in the Eastern world, people are wondering if you're real or a speaker member in the first channel on there. So if you could pop, go say hello to people.
Are there a lot of people in there?
No, not too many.
All right. Well, it's part of my mystique.
Oh, okay.
Puppy.
That's barely going to cut into your budget.
That's really your cause. Talking about it is just going to annoy people. Everybody knows what you're really doing. You're saying how awesome you are. Getting
What up, Miss Aquarius?
because you're really concerned about people in Sudan.
Yeah, she just came in. Some people were requesting attention, and we'll see.
Oh, she didn't like it.
No, it's not that she didn't like it. I helped her, and now she's back in. Yeah, there's some people in here.
Hey, Robbie.
What up? How are you?
Are you made with the Robbie, depressed or something?
No. I'm probably the most positive person you've ever met.
Really?
Oh, for sure.
No. Are you depressed? Robbie, are you depressed? Positivity in my life.
Okay, excellent. Well, everything's going to be okay. You're an amazing person, and very happy that you have the opportunity to be above ground yet another day. A friend of mine, a little birdie, told me that I should pop in. So yeah, I don't talk in here. If you're wondering why don't you talk in here, I just talk in other servers, but generally I just leave my camera on. I give people a portal into my world, and but to the person who was like, "Are you sad?" or whatever, no, I'm very positive, extremely positive. Each day I gain more and more positivity, more and more joy in my life. So how are you all?
Bro, I have a question. What are you doing on your back always? 24/7.
I live stream my life 24/7. So it's one of like,
What do you do?
I've been doing so for 4 years. So it's one of like 33 different cameras that I have on myself.
Oh, because whenever I there, I always see booty.
My whole life is a booty cam. Talk with me. I don't really ever talk in this channel. Maybe like in the last year that I've been, maybe 2 or 3 times. So this is a special. But if you ever need to talk to anyone, if you're an adult, come to my Discord server. It's in my bio. I'd be happy to cheer you up.
Bro, are you always lying on your bed?
No, that's just the only of my life. But I do a lot more than that. Welcome,
Are you always that you look the video?
gamer,
That you see it?
gamer Bob. No, my video is not looped. It's always live.
Yeah.
That's what you think. I just don't take a Discord camera outside. I go outside 2 hours a day. Right. Just because I don't take a random task cord outside with me does not mean I do not go outside. I have 33 different devices going right now. I'll just show you from the other angle that you never see. Devices. So just because you can't see what I'm, from that one camera doesn't mean that, like, I'm not going to take all these cameras outside with me. And plus, it's freeing. It's enjoyable to just sit a few times a day, not have to worry about ensuring that I'm in front of a camera. Though outside, like, we have security. I guess there's cameras outside, but nevertheless, those aren't being live streamed to YouTube. I'm live on YouTube 24 hours a day. I have been for 4 years.
Wonderful. Bro, what do you do for a living? How do you money?
Boy, game was full of questions. So I'm a certified project management professional. I've launched apps on the App Store and Google Play, which has given me some financial independence, so I don't have to work.
What the fuck is that?
You don't know what an app is?
What is it? This type of living is
Well, Mr. Nice, enjoy your day.
well.
All right, well, that's what I do. So I'm going to go back to my Discord friends. I have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people in my Discord over here. That one has like 25. That has 8. I'm live in like 12 Discords 24 hours a day. No, listen to you.
Oh shit.
All right, so enjoy yourselves, friends. I'm gonna go back to my. Thanks, dude. Yo, what up, puppy? Puppy. What up, girl? Puppy. Can you hear me? Puppy. There you are. How was your day?
Good. Gotta go. Take care.
Puppy, your microphone doesn't sound good.
Remembering all the things we've been through. I'll never forget him, the leader of the pack. Now he's gone. It's too weird. Alright, so that's Mr. Mills, will you saw me tomorrow? No. No. Big sexy. Well, some people call me sexy. Other people say sexy. But perhaps someone wants to call me Bill. It's okay. Shoot your life for years, which I know you have the balls to do. Then shut the fuck up. Get your prick. Or get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I think you should be doing it. I think hey, dog, guess what? No one gives a flying fuck about your opinion. When we're watching your stream, that's when your opinion matters. Unless you're gonna live shoot your life for years, which I know you don't have the balls to do, then shut the fuck up, get your crayons, or get the fuck out of here. He's so fun. And Tinder's gonna in the front. You got your crayons there. You good? You good? You need chocolate. Good. Good. Okay. You need more paper. Okay. You never know. I can listen to the radio. I can listen to the people. All of these different discords, so you don't know. Your subjective opinion, man, that I'm listening to this. But the dude can be doing whatever the fuck he wants. Why? Because the dude minds. Hey, honey. Anyway, over here, girl. My husband is such an asshole. Hey, Sundar Pichai, how's that fucking Zoom doing? He just sucks dick.
Sick. So sick. Swipe. Dude, no one gives a shit.
Don't forget to try to slay. How are you gonna deal with the heat next week? I'm doing some movie shows. Are they cooler? Yes. You go. Booty shorts, but that's the recommendation from the folks in West Philly to keep cool around the neighbors and shit.
Folks, look at this athleticism.
What the fuck it is. And it's like a flag that you carry with you to let everybody know that you're an amazing person.
If you're gonna do it, just do it.
Yo,
I always felt like
what up, Paul? How you living, big man?
but I always felt like a warden.
Hey, good. How are you?
Kicking ass every Every day's a holiday, every meal's a feast. What's good in your neck of the woods, son?
Chilling on YouTube, yeah.
So how'd you find out about me?
I see yesterday.
Remind me, how'd you find out about me yesterday?
Trey wanted to be a bit for a while.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been trying Barry. We've been in this for a little bit. Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh, very cool. Okay, I've got you now.
Yeah.
Okay, so how was your day?
Yeah.
So, slaying a dick like it's going out of style. Every holiday, every meal is a feast. What's on your agenda for this weekend?
Playing games, chilling.
Okay, what are you gonna play?
Nothing much, really.
Okay, what do you
Where with Spain?
know that a few nights ago I whipped Trey's ass in a game, and he's beaten me now 5 straight games in pool.
Oh, really?
It's really sad. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's cheating though, and so I'm letting him win, just to be a lesson for the world and the future of humanity that cheaters never prosper. So, but yeah, he's really good at pool. Have you ever played pool against him? Well, you're missing out. He's very
Yeah.
okay. So, what game are you playing?
Where with Spain?
I mean, where wins meet? What is it? What kind of game is that?
The PG, MMO, Asian sort of game.
In what Asian country does it take place?
China.
Oh, that's baller. You could have named any of them though. They're all cool. So it takes place in China, like here.
Oh, I don't know. Early 17, 1800s, I think.
Okay, so they have gunpowder.
Not yet.
Oh, then it's way before then. China, like 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, it might be.
All
I'm
right,
not sure what year, but yeah, early China.
all right, dude. We're gonna look it up. All right, I want to know the exact fucking date that you're playing this game. So just one moment. It's called Winds of what?
Where wins Spain?
Where Winds Meet.
Yeah.
In what year does the game Where Winds Meet take place? Where Winds Meet. It takes place in the 10th century. All right. Well, let me see when did they have gunpowder? And did they have powder? The game Where Winds Meet is set in 5 dynasties during this era, and the game reflects this in accurate detail. Players encountered gunpowder barrels in the game world, such as the burning town, which are key elements in combat and exploration. So, have you been to the burning town area?
Yeah, no, probably not. I haven't seen gunpowder.
All right. So maybe that's on your agenda. All right, that's tight. Do they have
It's
manuscripts?
a good game.
Do they have
PC. Yeah, PS5.
Why isn't it on Xbox?
I don't know.
Isn't it strange? I mean, I just let me just ask you this question. Fall in 27. You're gonna make a game, whatever your game is, PS5 and the PC, like by default.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they eating my hair full to watch a big explosion.
PlayStation, but it was like, okay, I have to have that game, and so what wherever it could have come out on. All right, you played Wii as a kid. You played Wii U as a kid. Did you ever play Switch?
No.
Have you ever played Switch 2? Whatever, you know how it is. You just play a kid's game. If you're a kid and you play an adult game, I don't make those decisions. Did they ever release Grand Theft Auto on Wii? Or not Wii?
GTA 5, baby. I'm so.
Right. And I mean, maybe they did, but did Grand Theft Auto ever come out on a Nintendo platform?